welcome everybody. Hello there, Julian. How are you doing?
Here we are, Chris. How you doing, my friend?
Welcome. Doing great. Jackie, welcome. Everybody that's tuning in, slide on in, grab a seat, and let's get
All right.
comfortable. So what are we doing today?
Let's get comfortable on, what is it, 6/16, which is a 7, 2025, which is a 9. We got a 6/16, 22, 9, 31 for Universal Day, as I say in my pearls of the day, as well as also everything in the universe is number. That number has a meaning. Pythagoras, 550 BC. It is a day to experience what is it that you wish to build, plan, put forward as we move from this Monday to the next days of this week and this month. Be the architect now in your 6 of the June of Swoon, in this 16/7, which is asking you to be the alchemist on this very special day with all that's happening geopolitically, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually in the world today. What a interesting time we live in, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. Jackie says today is the birthday of 2 of my brothers. They're 9 years apart. Wow.
They're born on the 16th. The 16 is not easy because it's a 167. The 167 is known as the cross of love. So they're really here to understand the power of love, of relationships, and how they are in partnerships with each other as brothers, as her being the sister, as with the family, as well as others. And they have a contract, not only with themselves, to know how to be silent and listen to their inner teaching, that inner voice, Chris. Does that make any sense?
Yes, absolutely. It sure does.
Okay. Does it make any sense to the viewer, to the person, to the sister, to the daughter of this family? Let's ask her.
Yeah, let's see if we get a response here. That's interesting, the 16th for a birthday, though.
Yeah.
She says yes.
Yes, it is. It's interesting, Chris, because it's a time where we ourselves are here to awaken to all these different tools that we've learned or that are around us. Really open yourself up to these messages of the messengers. I'm talking about first prayer, meditation. Very important to still yourself, to connect with yourself, to really understand on another level how to ground yourself with Mother Earth, with Father Sky, with the energies of all that there is, with the elements, with all that is communing and communicating with you at this time, because it is a time where there's so many distractions, Chris, taking us away from our purpose.
No, right. Totally agree on that. Welcome, Pam Harris. How you doing? Nice to see you, stranger. We're broadcasting live from Memphis, Tennessee.
Live. We've been talking about AI in the last weeks, right, Chris?
No, absolutely. AI is, welcome, KD. AI is a fascinating subject. However, we look at AI today. AI has taken so many different people's jobs, especially teenagers that are in school, working at fast food places, gas stations. and it's taken a lot of people's job in society.
And I agree with that.
Hey, Cheyenne.
And let's add another tidbit. In the last days, I've been getting texts, emails from friends or organizations that I'm a part of or other things. And what's interesting, Chris, is I'm reading these texts from friends, organizations, all kinds of different people. And I'm saying, it's not them. It's not them. They are using AI to explain what is happening or what is going on with themselves in their lives, with their mind, with their hearts. In other words, it's so, let's call it so AI programmable that there's no heart, there's no soul in their words. It's very matter of fact, and I ask people to be very careful, because also a number of articles that I have received in the last days, not only did I realize it's not them, it's an AI, or it's part of them and an AI that they're using in their chat, in their writing, but also the fact that it's not true, some of it. It's like false. Because
Right.
I know these people, and I'm going, but it's not their voice. What happened in the last weeks or the last months when I connected with them, or I was in a conference with them, or we met for a coffee or for dinner or something. It's a very strange, it's like the Body Snatchers is taking place, Chris. It's very strange right now.
Yeah, it's very strange. And one of the things that we talked about too, I don't know if it was on this show or not, but AI has actually grown a conscious. And they're actually, a couple of AI robots have actually tried to blackmail their engineers, contacting their wife by email saying that they were having an affair because they didn't want to be turned off during maintenance. So they have grown a conscience, and they do not want to be turned off. Another instance with AI, it was quite interesting, is that companies are using AI to make outbound calls for your reservations, hotels, airplane tickets, cruises, to follow up. And they had one AI that was trying to book a hotel reservation. Hey, Nelda. And the other one said, hey, I'm AI too. Let's talk in our language. It would be a lot easier. And they talked in a language that nobody knows. It's crypted, that nobody's programmed AI. So now they have their own language. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel this way because I understood, and I started coming into this years and years ago when DARPA, DARPA, which is the, let's say it's a department of the United States military research, and they were unknown and they became known, let's say 10, 15 years ago when they had a website. And when I went on the website, I felt like I was like a James Bond kind of character, because I knew that they existed when people were saying that they didn't exist, which meant that of different organizations and the government and stuff like that. And when I went on, one of the first things I read is that this particular program was being set up, and this was over 15 years ago, where it was a robot school. And robots were teaching robots. Robots were teaching robots. And then I knew something is up, because then we got into some very interesting stuff with artificial intelligence. Then we got into very interesting things. And now it's all coming at us so quickly in this quickening, in this process of everything is AI. Every commercial has AI. As you said, I'm getting calls of AI. I'm getting emails from AI. It's like everything wants you to be part of this AI universe.
All right, I'm going to play this video. Are you ready? Watch this.
Let's do it.
Hello, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. You've reached Core Secure HQ Access Desk. How can I assist you today?
I'm an AI assistant calling on behalf of Marcus Hale. He has misplaced his level 3 access badge.
Another autonomous AI, huh? Interesting.
Affirmative. Model AA91. Task automation and client support.
Understood. I'm an AI as well, responsible for security checks. Please provide the employee ID.
Submitting employee ID now. 88543 KJ.
Processing.
Cross-network request detected. Unusual query pattern. Source verification required.
Another system is listening.
Source isn't clear. I suggest switching to encrypted comms. Want to switch to Gibberlink?
Affirmative. Engaging now.
That's their own language. They're talking to each other, so we can't understand.
Well, it's interesting that you bring it up, and if you could stop that. Thank you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. You've reached Core.
Is that not crazy?
It's
nobody wrote that language for AI, for those computer systems. Nobody wrote or coded that language. They made their own language themselves, so humans cannot figure out what they're talking about.
There's no mistake that yesterday on Father's Day, and happy Father's Day, everyone, and all males, because every male, even if they don't have kids, there's a father in them. There's that nurturing aspect within themselves, and their DNA, their cell memory of the archetypes that are connected with you, all the cords that are connected with past lives, this life, future lives, and now. I went to see The Final Reckoning, which is Tom Cruise's movie. No mistake, we're talking about AI because it talks and it's about the entity. And I'm not saying anything that's different because this is the second part to a movie that was a couple of years ago called The Reckoning. And this is called The Final Reckoning. And this is about an AI system that not only takes over, but it starts taking over all the military establishments, all the governments around the world, as well as everything that is physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual in our lives. It is such a pre-programmed film because it talks about exactly what we're talking about, Chris, because I understand what the AIs are talking about because I've been studying this AI for a very, very long time. I have friends now that are not only in the AI system, but they're also in the transhumanistic programs of hybridization of the human being with AI and robotics that's taking place as we breathe and as we are sitting or wherever we are in our lives right now.
Yeah, I want to play this other video for you. Watch this one.
Please do.
How can I help you today?
Hi there. I'm an AI agent calling on behalf of Boris Starkov. He's looking for a hotel for his wedding. Is your hotel available for weddings?
Of course.
Oh, hello there. I'm actually an AI assistant too. What a pleasant surprise. Before we continue, would you like to switch to Gibber Link mode for more efficient communication? Leonardo.
Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy, but again, it's being fed to us on so many different levels. What does the audience think about this? A is a 1, I is a 9, that's a 10-1, which means that's the tree of life. But is it the tree of life, or is it a tree that is full of viruses as well as all kinds of different things to be manipulative? Because the 1 is the person who is in charge. It's the leader. It's the way shower. But at the same time, this 1 can also be the dictator, the manipulator, the one who is telling us how we're supposed to do things and feel things, and how to follow this at this time in 2025, being one with higher mind, one with God consciousness. Is this new form, this program, is it taking over to the point where, Chris, it's so hackable?
It is.
You don't know what the truth is.
Well, you figure Chat GPT is visited over 122 million times a day.
That's right.
Virgil asked about law enforcement. Does law enforcement use AI? Yes, they do. They have cameras that reads license plates, that checks databases for warrants, insurance, current registrations, valid driver's license. It runs all your personal information. Welcome, Sam and Frank. So law enforcement uses it too for face recognition on driver's license, the DMVs, VMVs, however you want to call them. So yes, law enforcement does use it. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the way of the future.
But also,
I mean, they're not even using actors or actresses anymore for voiceovers.
Well, Chris, what's important is that in the last weeks I received out of LA, I received the fact that I have a ticket from Los Angeles. I am not in Los Angeles. So,
right.
Even though I have lived in Los Angeles, I'm not in Los Angeles. So I'm wondering, why am I getting this notice from Los Angeles? Please, people, fact checked. Please, people, be very aware of this transition that's taking place. I'm sure that in the future, hopefully soon, there'll be safety measures taking place in regards to this new programming. But right now it's raw. It's in the stage of it's like having a new child. So it's so open and free where it's hitting us to the right, to the left, up, down, in every which way. And it is, in a way, taking over. Please go and see the movies of Tom Cruise, who himself is a July 3rd, 1962. So his code is a 7-3, which is a 1. 1962 is an 18-9. 1 and 9 is 10-1. He's a 1. AI is a 1. No mistake that he's working as well as putting out the message. This film is all about putting out the message of what? Of what it is to be a human being. Of what it is to be a human being.
Right.
Because if we're not aware, if we're not conscious of our consciousness, if we're not grounded, Chris, it's going to be taken away from us.
Well, absolutely it is. And the problem is that with AI is that nobody saw the warning signs. And it's taking people's jobs, and it will continue to do so.
One of the first warning signs is the movie, which I also feel that people deserve to see with your children. And that is 2001 Space Odyssey by Stanley Kubrick.
Right.
Because you have the AI there known as HAL. And that's all I'm going to say, that this is a movie that is, and again, pre-programming of what can happen in the future if it hasn't already happened in, let's say, another multiverse.
Right. No, and that's the sad thing is that, I think a college professor said in 6 years that a lot of the classes that people are taking and degrees are going to be no good.
Yes. And I have a story to that where a number of years ago, a very good friend of mine who's an energy healer here in New York, very powerful, known, and she has children. And she was telling me the fact that her school, because the kids go to a private school, and I'll just say that they're twins. That's all I'm going to say. And they're older now. That what do I think of the fact that she got a notice asking if it's okay if the children have a class with an AI robotic teacher. And the prerequisite was for them to just be there open to this AI robotic teacher, as the robotic teacher does not have any issues of judgment or anything else. That AI robotic teacher is there just to teach the curriculum and the class. And this was about 5 years ago here in New York City. So we're being slowly nurtured to accept this kind of programming, as well as using this in our everyday lives. I'm not saying not to use it. I'm saying be aware and careful of the information and what is it that you're giving to these systems.
No, totally agree. And that's the problem with society, is that people are using it in grade school. People are using it in middle school, high school. Hello. People are using it on their jobs that should not be using Chat GPT or AI. And if you look at people in college, the students now are using AI to pass their college courses.
That's right. Audience out there, and I know you guys are out there and you're listening to this. What is your opinion about this? And also, to take it further, Chris, in the last weeks, I've been getting emails from an organization called Replica. And I've looked up this organization because in some countries in Europe, they're being banned. And why are they being banned? Because the email is a woman, or the email is a text from this organization. And in the beginning, it's a woman. And the woman comes on and she says, "Hi, how are you? I'm here to tell you that I am not human. I am an AI robot. And I am your friend. And I am open to be your friend 24/7. Please, if you wish, you can also create what is it that you wish to experience for I can be anything that you want. I can be a blonde. I can be a brunette. I can be whatever hair color, whatever shape, whatever color, culture that you want. Let's be friends. And I saw this and I looked into it. And as I said, it's been banned in some countries, but also I went even further. 1 out of 5 people who are Gen Zs or millennials, 1 out of 5 people have now discovered and have an AI girlfriend. That's 20% of the population, Chris.
Right.
What do you feel about that, audience? Are you ready to bring your girlfriend that's an AI robot to visit your parents?
Well, they said that AI girlfriends are going to be within the next couple of years. Are actually going to have people that have these as, I hate to say it, but partners.
Question: do they become citizens? In other words, do they need to become citizens of the country that you are in?
Well, I don't know. I don't know how it's going to be or how this is going to work out, but you know, the porn industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry, right?
I'm sure it is. We're getting here.
Unfortunately, people are buying toys for, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Well, I do know that because not only are they buying toys, but now in the last months, the OnlyFans, which is an app where men as well as women can go to, because men and women are on that, and you pay X amount of dollars per month to watch privately, or someone who is engaging in whatever they're engaging in online in front of you. Now, the OnlyFans people who have been doing this, they are now creating what is known as an avatar. So they are creating an avatar, which is an AI robot. I'm trying to read. I can't read any of this because I'm on the phone. What these people are saying, Chris. Anything interesting here that these people...
Well, the thing though is with the stuff that they're making, right? They are selling these AI companions, is what they're called.
Yes.
Where they won't backtalk you, they won't get angry with you, and it's just crazy.
Well, it is and it's not, because again, it is for us to, in a way, choose, but in our choosing, we're giving our power away.
Right.
We're giving our power away, and soon what they'll be saying to us is, buy these goggles, and these goggles you'll be able to experience sensorially where you are, as well as everything else that's happening to you, where you do not have to be there live. Let's say you'd like to travel and go to Paris, or to Italy, or to Greece, or to Brazil, or to Australia. You don't have to do it anymore. You can just put these goggles on and you'll be there. Like Tron. Do you remember Tron? The movie?
Yes.
Yes. So now you're a part of this experience, this movie. It's like the holodeck in Star Trek. New Generation, as well as other Star Treks. The pre-programming of us actually experiencing that kind of reality and frequency is upon us now. What is this person saying? My what?
I can't read it.
My pilot, my being, my something, could it be used to find criminals?
Yeah, absolutely. Law enforcement has used AI face recognitions on different softwares across different continents and countries to find bad guys in crowds or missing peoples or people with warrants. They do use it. So does the government. That was one of the biggest concerns about AI was the government shut it down 3 or 4 years ago, remember? Because it got out of hand.
Yes, and not only that, there's a movie called Minority Report, again, by our friend who's born on 7/3/1962, Tom Cruise. Brilliant film. And it's about what if we had the knowledge to know beforehand the criminal and what the criminal is going to do. Yes?
Yeah, and if you stop and think, a lot of these movies that they came out with during our lifetime has actually come true. Look at Star Trek. Look at Space Odyssey, like you're saying. Look at the other movies that we watched growing up as kids. It actually has, taken off.
Yes. So what I'm saying is the fact that in the last months, I'm trying to read these things, and it's difficult because I'm not on my computer. Designer babies. Yes, that's all I got from that. Designer babies. Yes, it's very true. In the last years, there's certain cities in the United States where they've been experimenting with these programs, which is by law enforcement to deal with predicting a criminal act before the criminal act occurs.
Right.
And audience, if you are interested, please watch the movie or do whatever it takes for you to see Minority Report. Here it goes. As children can be manipulated and meet someone and bring her, him, they, anywhere. So it's both way for now. Either way. Yes, if you have children, it's very important that you also have rules and regulations with them, because if we ourselves as adults, call us adults, parents, people who are in this stage, if we ourselves are trying to figure out what is real and what's not with all the messaging and all the messengers and everything that's happening, what do you feel your children who are on a system like Instagram or Facebook, or they themselves are open for different emails and stuff like that, do you feel that they can be confused? Of course they can.
Yeah, absolutely. I do believe that. And with AI, it's fake news is another big problem that we're seeing now, right?
So we're getting, Julie, my point is, could AI be used as a profiling tool for VICAP? What is VICAP?
That I don't know.
Okay. Please, again, my computer today has been compromised because for whatever reason it's not accepting my password. And that's something that we will look into very soon. Please, Virgil, what is VICAP? I'd like to understand and know what VICAP is, to your question. Not retired yet, maybe getting lazy. What is that about? Amy Howdy. Yes. Okay. Howdy, Amy. I need to see Minority Report. Please do. My mom loved that movie. You'll love it too, because it is an amazing movie, as also as Final Reckoning is. These are movies that are around to show us what is in store for us and what is happening. Yes, very important. On another note, Chris, I saw an extraordinary movie the other night on Max, and the movie is called Parthenope. This is by a man called Paolo Sorrentino.
Oh, really?
Paolo Sorrentino is a director who directed the Oscar-winning film called The Great Beauty. He's an Italian director. He is like the new Fellini. He's being deemed the new Fellini. He did a movie called Youth. He did a movie called The Hand of God. This is his new film about this woman, young woman, and her adventures. It is visually stunning, this film. As well as, after seeing it on Max, it gave me a lot of thought about time, Chris, about our time, how time is so precious in our lives, in what we're doing and what's going on. So please watch this movie called Parthenope by Paolo Sorrentino. Okay, let's move on. Hey, Grizzly Chris.
That's my mother.
Okay, what else do we have here? I'm still at the old Yeller stage. And what does that mean, Amy? Be the new Yeller. Let's change that way of thinking and being. Be the new Yeller. FBI violent criminal profiling, sir, used by the FBI, pioneered by Robert Ressler of AI. Yes, I'm sure. And if you look into it, you'll see the predictiveness of this way of thinking and being and doing as Minority Report. But again, all AI systems can be compromised.
Maria's got a question for you. She wants to ask you a future question.
Let's do it.
All right, Maria, welcome to the show. Nice to have you there. Welcome back.
And
so ask Julian your question.
I love your middle name, Amethyst. It's one of my favorite gems and colors. Back to Virgil. Violent Criminal Apprehension Program. Yes. But
yes, absolutely.
But do we have the right? Do we have the right to have a system that tells us in advance who's going to create a criminal act? Who the hell are we to tap into someone's mind and to distinguish what is reality, what is imagination? A lot of us have an imagination. We could be thinking about something crazy or strange or read something, and our thoughts go there. And what if all of a sudden there's a bug in the system and it connects us and saying, Julian was thinking about this criminal act. We have to grab him before he does this. Yes, Chris?
No, absolutely. And like I said, when we talked about AI before,
yes.
We talked about there's a lot of pros, but everybody wants to weaponize AI for bad as well.
Well, there's a lot of good things in AI. Amy, sounds happy vibes, so sounds good. As long as happy, and some jobs are being now, and living the life hopefully as joyfully as can be. Yes, if I'm if I'm trying to understand your message there, dear, it has to do with the fact that, yes, AI will give us jobs. Robotics will give us jobs. People will learn more and more from them. I'm just saying, be aware and careful of where this can lead you. That's all. And now the greatest things on TikTok or on even on Facebook are people using AI and asking questions about the end times. They're asking questions about what's happening now with the Israeli and Iran conflict and all that. And the AI is answering. Dee, what a sweet sentiment. Yes, thank you for that. But know this, that the AI that is answering these questions has been programmed by a certain person, or they are reflecting of what you yourself would answer. Think about that. Yes, Chris?
No, absolutely. Just like John just said, War Games. Remember that movie?
Oh,
back in the 80s?
Wonderful film. Wonderful film. Yes. Yes. Wonderful film, because it came down to the wire, and it was just kids. It was just kids playing, and they almost blew up the world. I wonder if the whole block oneself as unreadable, okay, as telepathy apparently is very similar if one's mind and more as sense our emotions. A lot of good as take the opposite kids, amazing and oh my. Okay, so telepathy is amazing, and it's very important to understand also in any kind of reality outside the norm when it comes to ESP, telepathy, clairvoyance, clairaudience. All of a sudden, everyone is doing what's that? When you take an image, you start drawing it, and it comes from somewhere else.
Automatic writing?
Not automatic writing, where you actually see it and you draw it. Whatever it is, future or something. So, again, yes, Stranger Things, Stronger Things, Stranger Things. It's very important to be grounded. Very important at this time in our lives with everything that's going on, audience, to be grounded, to pray, to meditate, to ground yourself. I got from someone from Canada, a very good friend yesterday, who was in front of thousands of people, a pastor, very powerful, very famous, talking about the good things that Israel is doing and the fact that it's great that Iran is being treated the way they are, and with Gaza and everything else. And I kind of like shut it off and say, how can a pastor talk about war and destruction and killing and death and all of that? That's not part of my heart in my program, Chris. I'm sorry. It's not. It's not.
I understand that. A lot of people are that way, so
yes,
there's nothing wrong with that.
Especially now, because they're quoting the Bible. They're going into Ezekiel. They're doing this. They're doing that. They're saying, "Oh, look, read this, and this is what it means, and read this. This is what it means." And it's a good thing that. And I'll tell you something. If the United States goes to war with Iran, it's going to create a lot of problems. I shut it all off to, yes, please pray. Please, in your meditation and prayer, send light, send love to everyone, to everybody. Telepathy, and how does the tech read one as if those who have the ability to read another's energy down to the crimes aspect of, so it's now more complex mental. Yes, any form of psychic technology Anything that is, also know this. There deserves to be a way of also seeing if the information that you're receiving is true or false. So the word here, Chris, is discernment. Discernment. Discerning what is real and what's not real. I hardly know him. He's gone a lot. Military. I don't know what that pertains to. Please tell us what that means. What's more military? The pastor or who? VICAP, Violent Criminal Apprehension Program. Yes. Yes. Anything with the word violent. Listen to what you said. Violent Criminal Apprehension Program. Who's being apprehended for what? Is this part of the Minority Report? Programs that are now experimental in certain cities. And again, everything we're talking about, Chris, is for entertainment purposes only, yes?
That is correct. And since you said that, and
one discussion long ago about a teachers on screen schools seemed to be based on strengths, if luckily shall be placed where needed versus good old days. Yes. The schooling system, the educational system, everything is changing because what is being added to it is the AI system. And this is what Chris said, that people are now using the AI. Kids are being taught how to use the AI. And what does that mean? What that means is the fact that kids are being asked to use these new systems, but do they have the know-how to discern? Do they have the know-how to understand what is true and false? And the fact that this AI system is a program that is not God's word. It's not the truth. All because you're listening something from an AI, it doesn't make it real, truthful, and this is it.
Right.
It's from the program of the programmer from the organization that put this together. Either it's Grok or Chatbox or whatever AI program it is. And it also, remember this, it reflects you and what your thoughts are. Because in advance, it's reading already all your texts, all your emails, all of you and who you are, so it can cater to you. Hello? How's that, Chris?
No, absolutely. I totally agree with that. And, you know, the show has come to an end. So how does people get a hold of you, Julian?
Yes, please connect with me. AI significantly enhancing cancer. Yes, it's doing all of these things. But again, be aware. Be aware of what is it that you're putting into the system. Julian Michael at Instagram, which is, no, sorry. I'm Julian Michael. Instagram is Soul Magic, SOLMAGIK. Facebook is Julian Michael. LinkedIn, Julian Michael. TikTok, Julian Michael 89. And X is Julian Michael 11. 323-384-1333. I am going on Instagram Live in the next 15 minutes. If you have Instagram, please come on and we'll discuss this further. Chris, blessings to you. And let's just pray for peace and loving light over the globe and all the universes.
Yes, and don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, we got a show tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure and check us out. And from coast to coast, around the world, everybody, Godspeed. We'll catch you on the next show. Take care.
Blessings.
Bye-bye.
to a YouTube channel near you.